Hi everyone, welcome to Guitar in the Real World. Tim Rose here again. When I started this little series off back at the beginning of the year, the idea was to kind of give aspiring professionals an idea about some of the things they might need to consider when entering professional music. So the idea was to have Guitar in the Real World talking about what it's like to really be a pro, rather than the rose-tinted view that one might have of what it's like to be a professional musician. Little did I know that come March of 2020, the entire entertainment and performing arts industries would be shut down due to the coronavirus, which was inevitable because social distancing in theatres in particular and gigs is completely out of the question, and for a theatre to operate at 25% to keep the amount of space between the audience members required is that doesn't bring in the money that's required to run the performances. And then think about trying to fit the band in the pit. There's often not a lot of room between people in pits, and then actors and singers singing and spitting on each other. You can see that there are a lot of problems. So essentially it feels a little bit like what I've been covering in these discussions and interviews and lessons and so on almost seem a little bit irrelevant at the moment. There is no professional music industry, and there probably won't be for quite a while yet. And for a lot of us it's incredibly worrying, because it could mean that many of us could be just forced out of this business. Even when it starts up again, it'll be too late for us to hang on that long. The recording industry is able to function a bit more online. If you're lucky enough to make a lot of a living from recording, then you may well be able to survive this. I mean, most musicians have a home setup. I do a bit of recording from home for professionally for people, but a lot of the work I do is for backing tracks for cruise ships. And there's an industry which I think is going to be pretty short for cash as well over the next year or two. So I think the point of my little video here is to say that I'm very aware of how irrelevant some of what I've been covering may be at the moment, but I'm going to continue trying to put stuff out that will be of use to people and hopefully be entertaining as well. In the old days, when times were hard, when gigs were thin on the ground, the usual path for most musicians is to do a bit of hustling. Get on the phone and say to your friends and colleagues, I'm looking for work, anything going? And it's part and parcel of being a professional. You have to hustle a bit, but there are ways of doing it, I will add. Cold calling people that you don't really know at all is somewhat frowned upon. But that's the fact of the matter is, if you're looking for work, getting in touch with people and saying, oh, is there anything going, would be the way we normally do it. We can't do that. There is no gigs for anybody. The entire industry has been frozen to a standstill. So any of those gig-getting strategies that you'd normally have are meaningless at the moment. I will add that I'm very aware that the music industry and the arts are not the only industries that are suffering by any means. But the music industry very much contributes to GDP in this country. I heard yesterday that it contributes a similar amount to what finance or what the construction industry do. And there's a very strong possibility that our industry will die. If the theatres have gone out of business already, and other theatres are saying that they either are going to go out of business or are at least putting their operations on hold until next year, therefore laying off all their staff, even in the offices. So mass unemployment, really. Whether you play guitar for a living or whether you sit behind a computer doing admin, there's a lot of people going to be put out of work here. So I just thought I'd put this up to say that, yeah, I'm really aware of and living this whole thing myself. Anybody's got any points they want to make, fire away. How are you coping, everybody? I'll put some links in the description to a couple of articles and interviews that which are relevant to this to this issue that we are dealing with at the moment. The other thing I'll add, and I really do not want to make this a political video. Those people who know me personally know that I have some strong opinions about things, but essentially COVID-19 would be horrendous no matter who was in power. Musicians do have a double whammy though because of Brexit, and if we have a no-deal Brexit, touring, which was already going to be difficult under Brexit with a deal, I think, you know, touring bands will not be able to do it. The prices that I've seen quoted for carnets just for your equipment and for your visas and so on and so forth would make it prohibitive. So when we have Brexit tied in with COVID-19, we're in serious danger of completely losing the music industry in this country, which has been at the forefront of the world music industry. You know, the UK and America, biggest exporter of music for the last, you know, few decades. So yeah, I'll keep doing videos to try and keep everybody's spirits up and keep people interested, but we're all going to have to watch this space. Good luck everybody, and take care of yourselves. See you soon. Cheers.